Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ted Denton, and I'm a candidate for mayor in the primary election on the GOP ticket this May the 5th. And I wanted to take some time today and thank you all for allowing me to come into your home, because this is a very, very important time. Rochester is at crossroads, in my opinion, and your choice of who's going to be leading the city the next 4 years is a very, very important decision. With that being said, I want to tell you today a little bit about my background and what qualifies me for leading the city of Rochester the next 4 years. And I'd also like to bring in my team. These two members of the team will be my Board of Works, Mr. Rick Figlio and Mr. John Little. And I think it's very important that you know who they are and what their background and qualifications are for helping me in the daily operation of the city. I mentioned in some articles that I have written in the past that the Board of Works is a very, very important group for the city. It's a three-person committee who has the statutory powers and the duties of running the day-to-day operations of the city. Unlike the city council, who is made up of 7 elected members that you go to the polls and place in those positions, that group is responsible for budgeting and establishing the ordinances for the city. A lot of people get confused over the duties of these two groups, believing that the city council has a lot to do with the daily operations of the city. But the Board of Works is made up of one elected person, myself, and these two gentlemen then are appointed by the mayor. And I believe it's absolutely critical that you know who these two people are and what their qualifications are, and have this explained to you before Election Day. Typically in the past, these two members of the organization have been political cronies that have been appointed after the election by the successful candidate as a reward for their political efforts. Well, this is not the case with this group. I have chosen these two gentlemen because of their backgrounds and the things that they bring to the table that will help me in making day-to-day decisions. I will certainly confide in them, but knowing that at all times I'm the one who's totally responsible for the outcome. With that being said, I'd like to now bring these two gentlemen into the picture and ask them to explain to me why they have taken on this mission, and also to let you know a little bit about their background and their qualifications. Now, Rick is a Republican, as I am. This is Rick Figlio. Rick, would you like to explain to us your thoughts?
I have owned my own business here in town since 1993, and as such feel like I have a pretty good handle on what it takes to run a business on a day-to-day basis. The city, like it or not, is a business entity in itself. Decisions have to be made financially, where we go from day to day. Ted asked me if I would be willing to help. I don't understand how anybody could say no, I don't want to help my city. I've lived here all my life, with the exception of a 2-year stint in California, which proved to me why I wanted to come back, and I just want to do whatever I can do to help the city of Rochester.
Okay, thanks, Rick. And now I'd like to introduce a longtime friend of mine, John Little. John and I go clear back to personnel days. John was personnel manager 30-some years ago at Sealed Power, and I was a very, very young personnel manager at Torx Products just down the street. And we became colleagues and worked very closely together in those days. John, would you like to explain why you've decided to join the team and a little bit about your background?
Sure, Ted. I say Ted says we went way back. We worked a lot of projects in the community over the years. We think a lot alike. We both got a business background. Mine in industry like Ted's was. I've been in business myself. Still at the interest of the community. And the community, the business, it is a business. Running the city is a business, and we forget that at times. And I think I got a lot to contribute there with my background there.
I thank you, John. And John's right. The city is a business. You'll hear politicians, which, by the way, I don't really believe any of us sitting here are politicians. We are businessmen. And a politician will tell you you can't run a government organization like you do business. I've found out over the years that that's code for please don't look over my shoulder like they do with a manager in business and hold him accountable for anything. I think we need more business type of principles in government, and we need that discipline for making sure things are done properly and for the right reasons. I do go back about 30 years in staff management experience. I was the youngest personnel manager at Torx Products at 26 years of age. I mentored there under some very good managers like Joe Sisti, Val Pemberton, Harry Sunding, Bill McKee, Al Arms, Willie Soberlick, Jim Earp, all of these gentlemen. I basically grew up in my management world with those people as part of the staff involvement. I also have worked for Marshall Electric, where I currently work today. I spent 10 years as the head of marketing and also over the administration of the company with 2 plants at that time under my management. And after a 10-year stint there, I went to work for Whitley Products in Plymouth as a materials manager, and also at Lau Industries. Ended up at Lau Industries, where I spent 17 years in 2 or 3 different management capacities: marketing, quality assurance, and also administrative staff. All of these positions have always been in the top management category, in the staff management category, and I've had direct reports ranging from as few as 3 to as many as 300. So I do have a very, very, very broad background in management. I see the mayor's position basically with 2 major responsibilities. I see it as the day-to-day operation of the group and the engagement of that operation by the top leader. And rest assured, I've never been in a position where I've not had regular hours so that the people knew where I was going to be and where they could get direction or guidance from me on a daily basis. That's the way I would run the mayor's office. The times I would travel would not be for networking with other mayors or for pleasure trips, if you will. My networking would be for city business. I would be primarily traveling with people like Terry Lee, who's the FedCo director in charge of economic development. I think the mayor should be very engaged there and helping in that effort to market Rochester. That is definitely a sales program. The other thing that I would do differently from past is I would operate on a day-to-day basis as a full-time mayor. My observation has been that several years ago we had a part-time mayor. We paid as a part-time job. This individual could have their own business. They could be the grocery store owner. They could be the clerk over here. They could have other responsibilities. And the mayor's position was less than a day-to-day management program. With that being said, what it's developed is over the years we've had departments that have become very standalone in the city and operate daily in a manner that has very little engagement by the mayor. I would change this. We changed the position to full-time pay, but we never changed the organization to recognize what a full-time manager should be doing, or how involved they should be. And this is not micromanaging, ladies and gentlemen. This is a manager being engrossed in the operations on a day-to-day basis and knowing what's going on. This I call a proactive management style. The people who work in these departments usually enjoy a management style like that because they're never in doubt as to what's expected of them, what their goals and objectives are, and there's regular conversation between them and the boss. So these are the things that I think are important. I want to end today again by thanking my two colleagues here and telling you that basically I believe they're ill. And what I mean by that is I want to thank both of them because they're under the weather today, not because they're ill for taking on this mission. But thanks, guys. I know you're not, either one of you, feeling very well. I would like to again remind you that Election Day is May the 5th, and it's still time to register to vote. You've got till April the 6th to register. And the easiest way to do that, if you have not registered, is to go to the courthouse, the second floor on the courthouse, to the clerk's office, and just go in and tell them you're a resident of Rochester and you'd like to register to vote. Like I said, the last day for that would be April the 6th. Now, I've also had, in regards to Election Day, I've had a lot of Democrat friends ask me, how in the world, Ted, could we vote for you in the primary? And as I mentioned earlier, Rick here is a Republican. John is a Democrat. We have a bipartisan group here. John, would you like to explain how a Democrat could go to the poll and vote for me on Election Day for the primary?
Sure, Ted. Like I say, I'm not a politician. I believe in the community and the individuals that's qualified for the job. But you can go in and comes a primary, you can pull either ticket. You can pull independent, Republican, Democrat. For the primary, you can do that. Then it comes to the fall regular election, you vote who you want to.
Thanks, John. So basically you step in, folks, and ask for the Republican ballot. Some people, though, and I'm glad you explained that, because some people have said, does that make me a Republican? No, you can continue to have your political status, but it just allows you to vote for Republican in the primary. And again, I want to thank you all. Please consider everything that's been said. If anything I've said you'd like further clarification or have any other questions regarding my campaign or the administration that I would run, please feel free to give me a telephone call at my home. It's 223-6996, or on my cell, it's 574-835-2493. And I ask you to call me because I'd like to talk to you one-on-one rather than correspond by email or anything of that nature. I'd like to hear firsthand your thoughts. Thank you again.